So some of you guys may be wondering, how do I go about producing a project, right? So I have this great idea, but I don't necessarily know what to do with it or how to get it up off of the ground. So for I Am Home, we wanted it to be level ground so that it could be found in any type of scenario, any type of purpose, and it can travel kind of across the country. So what we did was we actually took the script, and instead of pulling it out of pocket, we were blessed enough to be given a grant by the city of Dallas. And so you may be wondering, well, how do I go about finding grants, or how do I go about funding my projects if they're just self-produced? And so for this project specifically, we spent time diligently finding places in the city. In the city of Dallas specifically, there's an office dedicated to funding some independent artists. But wherever you're watching from, wherever city you live in, or whatever business you're affiliated with, you'll be surprised how many people are looking to give, right? And so there's companies all across the board that give away grants for projects and also put those projects on platforms for you through the grant process itself. So I would just say look diligently for people who are interested in finding new works of art and be creating in the meantime. I wouldn't say always wait for the money to be there or wait for the space to be there. Kind of let yourself be given a yes and go down the process, and you'll find nuggets along the way. If you really want to make it happen, you'll do it. And I think oftentimes we kind of get caught up in, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know what to do next. And if you just say yes and you continue, the next step will appear. So even with the show itself, I Am Home, I thought to myself, I don't even know if I want to produce this. I just want to write it because it was in my creative wheelhouse at the time. And I kind of remember God was like, you don't have to do this show, but you should. And so I kind of took that and I ran with it and got down the line with the grant. And the beautiful thing about the grant was there was a deadline to it. So it wasn't like this thing I could procrastinate on, or this thing that I could hold off until I just felt ready. It was something that I had to do regardless of how I felt, because now I have been given an opportunity for my work to grow. And so we produced it. It had to be done in 6 months, and the report had to be back to the city for the process of the grant to be completed. And from there, I didn't know where we were going to do it, and I had got connected with a cultural center here in Dallas. I've been producing workshops with my company to kind of expand some of the things in the education for film here in Dallas. And so I thought, well, what better place to do it than here? And so you'll be surprised how many places and spaces are around you that you can kind of makeshift into something, right? We're currently sitting in the Black Box Theater that we did the show in, but I've produced shows in lofts and just kind of like created them with my imagination and produced something really cool and innovative because of that, right? In some cases, we actually built sets in it, and in some cases, we just decided to do a show and have a good time. And so again, it's just back to that thing where if you don't want to procrastinate, you don't have to. There's a lot of things that are available to us, and we just kind of have to get innovative about the work that we want to do. And you don't always have to necessarily wait for a handout. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to give for the sake of art being expressed and created. And if your project has a purpose and you believe in it, there's many people who probably need to hear it. And there's a lot of people who will come in alongside you to help the work come to fruition. So, have faith and trust.